Hey everyone, it's Danielle and welcome back to Rosetta Vera. Today we're going to be swatching out these Crayola washable markers. So this is the Big 40 set of washable markers. There is a larger set of markers. I found out after I bought these that is a 60 pack. But here's the thing with the 60 pack. Some of them contain the metallic markers and some of them contain something else. So these are like the main versions of the markers. I picked these up around Christmas. I just didn't get a chance to swatch them out. Just a little bit of background, I guess I could tell you. These are ultra clean washable markers, which means they are washable from skin, clothing, and painted walls. So these are Color Max. These are the brightest, truest colors that Crayola makes. There's 40 markers in this pack, and they break down into 4 categories, which is bold, bright, classic, and tropical. I did not know that until I was building out my swatch sheet, and I looked at there's a blogger who like dedicates everything to crowns. I want to say it's Jenny's Crown Box, but if it's not, I'll insert the name here. Also put the link below. She goes into all of the history and background of all of Crayola's products, along with some of the other coloring tools out there, like Crazy Art and all of that. So I used her website to kind of research the colors so that I could do my swatching page. So I did open these and kind of sorted them into the rainbow. And then as I was researching my swatch sheet, I realized I had to change my order in order to make it easier to swatch. So I'm gonna insert the swatches here, but also at the end of the video, I'll put in the color sorting video for those people who kind of like that thing of sorting the colors by color and they find it soothing. So let's open it up. Inside you'll have these 4 packages. The Colors of the World are done very similar, where they're in separate packages within the big box. These right now were sorted into their categories of bold, bright, classic, and tropical. So I'm going to swatch them that way, and then I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about the actual Crayolas. So those are all 40 colors in the Crayola Big 40 washable marker set. Um, so they handle like typical Crayola markers do. So these again are their like broadline size markers. So that means they have this kind of fat tip where you can use the actual tip for like more detailed work, and then use the sides to lay down big swaths of color, which you saw me do here. The caps on these are pretty tight because I was actually having to fight to get them back on, which is good because my memory of Crayola markers is that they do dry out. I will say that the colors on the barrels are pretty close to what the color is on the page, which I appreciate because from what I remember about Crayola markers and kind of what I was seeing as I was taking these out of boxes, that the names tend to rub off from use. So that's good to know. Again, these are made for kids, but you could use them as an adult. I do plan on picking up the slimmer Crayola markers at some point, and also maybe picking up the 40 pack that has, the 60 pack that has the metallic markers. But I have to double check what those metallic markers are because I do have a pack of metallic markers here from Crayola. And I don't know if I don't believe these are broadline. I haven't gotten into these yet, but there are two types of metallic markers in Crayola's family, and there's this kind. I believe these are not broadlines, they are not. And then there's another kind. So these are project metallic markers, but there's another pack of markers. I will swatch these at some point on my channel as well. That pack I saw with metallic was only available at Walmart, so I had to wait until I actually go into a Walmart to look for that. So if we're looking at the actual swatches of the Crayola markers, I'm glad I did the swatches because it helped me understand the difference between some of the colors, because everybody knows the classic colors here. Excuse me. And I was wanting to see how much some of those colors deviated. So you have your regular green, and then you have graphic green, teal green, kiwi green, emerald green, palm leaf, sea foam, and you can tell that all of them are absolutely different shades of green. I don't even need to swatch those next to each other to show you that they're different colors of green. I think the two that look similar are graphic green and teal, but there is a difference between the two of those. I think the colors that look very similar might be blue and blue bolt, but I think blue bolt is just a tad bit different. I'm happy to see the different shades of purple, even though violet and ultraviolet look very similar. Plum is definitely a different color, as well as primrose, tropical violet, and wild orchid. Those are definitely different colors of purple. You have a couple of shades in pink now that are different from each other. Two different color yellows. It would be nice to see another yellow because this golden yellow looks more orange than yellow. So it was nice to see some variety. I will say that the colors are still very, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll say it's not many pastels. So these are still kind of basic colors. They're just different shades of it. So even if you were doing a picture with these, the picture is still going to come out pretty jewel toned. I'll use that word. That is still very jewel toned, which can be nice, especially if you use these kind of markers for mandalas and things like that, if that's what you're into coloring. Without flipping this over, I'm sure there's ghosting and bleed through, but let's check. Yep. That was what I expected, because Crayola markers can be juicy, and I I think every single color came through. This is standard copy paper. And every single color bled through, some more than others, depending on how much I was, the pressure I was using on the pen. So that's something to keep in mind if you want to use these in coloring books, that you may need to put something in between the pages so you don't bleed through. And definitely could not use this on a project that was two-sided, on a book that's two-sided. Other than that, they're Crayolas, and like, to me, Crayolas are always kind of a baseline. Like, anybody can use them. Kids can use them, adults can use them. I never walk away, well, I can't even say that, because I have walked away from some Crayola projects not happy, especially anything in their silly sense. I just don't get, and their twistables I don't get. But like in their like basic classic offerings, they're pretty solid. So that's all 40 markers. Those are all 40 shades. And the, what is this? Crayola broadline markers, classroom value pack, the big 40 washable markers. I think making them ultra washable did not change anything for me and how they performed. They were still pigmented and juicy and fun to color with. I have a couple of things I printed out on cardstock. I'd like to play around with these and see what the bleeding is like. I know I can't blend with them, but I still would like to see if they bleed really heavy on cardstock, because, you know, then there's some learning curve on how to do that, like coloring against the line and everything. I think that's about it. If you haven't touched your Crayola since you were a little kid, kind of like, what are you waiting for? These aren't bad. And if you got some kids who might like some Crayolas, again, these aren't bad. I'll put a link to these. I think I bought mine from the Crayola store online, but you can pretty much find these at Walmart, Target, Amazon, blah, blah, blah. They're out there, Staples. But I think I did buy mine from the Crayola store during Christmas because they were on sale. Thank you for spending time with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll insert that color sorting here, and I'll see you in the next video.